Welcome to Isis in the Bible, the winter gathering, week number 2, day of reconning. The question for today is a virus a process or a thing, i.e. a verb or a noun? And when I edit the video, I'll give everybody's responses. We got awesome response. So the word con means with. That's where the etymology get con. In Italian, vieni con me means come with me. So obviously that word has gotten such a bad rap, right? So can you be one con the truth, i.e. one with truth? Can you consider all potentials, all signs that we truly are spirits in this human experience? Being less human means we will cleanse our waters, aka lift the veil, so to speak. So let's be in concert today and harmonize our thoughts. So what's happening in the sky? Well, you want to talk about catching a cold, more like cleansing because of cold. Remember, when you freeze water, magic happens by helping the removal of contaminants. It's a physical process. It's a process used in physics. Ever notice small particles when your ice melts? So you know that this hot cold process is Mother Nature's alchemy. It's natural alchemy to cleanse you. You don't catch anything. So on January 21st, for us here and around the southwestern Ontario and Michigan area, Pluto aligns the sun, and Pluto is very cold because it's a 225-year cycle. So the sun aligns Pluto on that day, and look at what we get. We're going to go down, we're going to dip down into -1 here in this area. Juno, or Mary Magdalene, is on a cusp, so that makes it cold and harmonic. And so obviously Mother Mary, Eris, Isis, aka Kali, that we talked about the California coastline where she sits, she is going to be right there on that cusp. And Mars, which brings heat, which also does for in medical astrology, turns on your furnace for when you get fever, is going to be icy cold because it's aligned at the bottom of the chart, which is the cold part of the chart, and Pollux, the pole star in Gemini. So that's January 21st. There's a big cold spell on its way. So how do they know? Well, we know if you go back into the Farmer's Almanac, right? Founded in 1792, they use astrology. They don't use all the planets like they should, right? But they've always used astrology for predicting the weather. So that's not just the weather of the outside, but it's also the weather of your inside. So I just thought I'd share that. So if you start getting a cleanse on that part, because the cold snap will start the virus, the getting the poison, the sliminess out of your body. It will start that process. So a friend reached out and she used the COVID test just for fun because she was cleansing. She tested positive. She knows it's a cleanse. With her permission, here is her chart. Consider the consequences of what the medical industry is conning us with. So we do know that Hygeia in the stars, this is her glyph, this is an actual, what they call an asteroid, is circling around the planet, and this is why they carry that. This is from the truck in Toronto, the AMS. They still carry this symbol Why? Because when Hygieia comes by, she gives you a cleanse. And we do know that, look at this. So she called me, reached out, says she got tested positive, and the moon is on her Hygieia. There's that medical pharmacy. So are you catching a virus, or are you catching the start of a process? Well, I'm for starting the process because I've done many of these, and Hygieia is always involved. And I've had a couple of her. So there's Hygieia aligned with Mother Mary. So that means the whole pandemic thing wants to kick back in again, because this has transited 3 times now. And this is where Sarah's, your own personal Grim Reaper, where you feel like you're going to leave the visible. She's aligned her natal Mercury. So that's where you get the feeling of, oh my God, I'm going to leave the visible. This is really bad. And the sun was on her natal Mars. Okay, that's the alchemy of the heat. So the hot and the cold. So here you have it. She tested positive, and there is the textbook pharmaceutical medical astrology that she is getting cleansed. That test is only telling her her body is going through something. It's not, there's no thing called a virus. It's not an actual thing. They're looking at an atom changing to get those emoto muddy waters out of you. So this is just one example of many that I've done. So why would the stars, the influenza, the influenced by the stars be playing an effect? And that's why. All right. So it's a process. It's not a physical thing, but they're seeing changes in your chemistry under the microscope, and then they make tests for that. Well, all you got to do is know that you're cleansing. You don't need to do anything but nurture yourself with, like you said, beautiful water, Mother Nature, and understand that it's cleaning out garbage that's in you, both emotionally, past life, this life, the way we're treating our body. So I won't go through this in detail, because if you want to go, you can go back March 22nd, our week 5, where we talked about influenza. This shows proof again that medical experts tell you that a virus has never been isolated. They just make this stuff up, and that it all started from a tobacco leaf virus. Are you kidding me? This is the first ever photograph of a virus using an electron microscope, all during a time when chemicals were introduced to increase the yield of the tobacco plant. Mother Nature always wins. So again, you can visit this one if you want to get more detail. So let's talk about a new moon that's coming up just before February 1st that we talked about last week, the alignments, because they're very biblical. And that February 1st, we're going to do a separate video on it, is on the Egyptian walls. It's an amazing, amazing alignment that's coming up upon us. So people are going to cleanse and continue to cleanse. So this is from Wayne Herschel. He shows a whole bunch of these symbols, which I'm going to show you in this video that we're going to create. Well, this is Orion's belt rising in the Pleiades, and they show this new moon. And this new moon is happening on January the 29th. And that January the 29th new moon, Icarus is there too. And Icarus is the boy who flew too close to the sun, getting his wings burned. So this is an actual story. And Icarus does play in people's charts. So that new moon is all about your wings. Are you being materialistic, or are you using your wings for good? In other words, you're using beautiful, loving images, not desires. And so this alignment is starting to happen and create for the February 1st. And here it is where Orion's belt is rising. And this location, go figure, is in my mom's hometown. So I go to look to see who may be potentially affected. I don't know. So that's part of the research that we're doing to see, can we tell which area gets affected? Because we're studying hurricanes, we're studying all those things to find out, because they used to be able to tell. The Farmer's Almanac knows, so we can get to it too. Remember, millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do.
Where's Mom's hometown?
That's Uzzano, Tuscany, in Italy. So Mom's hometown is in Tuscany. So we looked at that one. So this one's saying, hey, there's the Pleiades when it's rising during that moon. Okay, I'm not sure what this symbol is. I haven't figured that out yet. It looks like a phoenix rising. So, and don't forget, for those of you who are new here, in May of 2019, we said we're going to be going through a Corona chakra cleanse starting in January of 2020, 7 months before they announced a coronavirus, because they were calling it Corona and we called it a Corona chakra cleanse. So how did we know? It's written on the Egyptian walls. It's Revelation 12:1 in the Bible. You can go look at some of our videos if you want to see that, but it's an actual truth. Okay, so the other thing I tried to see is for this new moon overhead, because another one of these shows the Pleiades rising. on this new moon and the part of fortune. And the part of fortune, and Angela knows part of fortune now. Part of fortune is to do with immaculate conceptions and new births, birthing something new in your whole environment. All right. So I'm going to get to this synchronicity that Terry shared with us in a second. So go figure, the place that I found where Alcyone is part of the Pleiades, where that's rising, and a new moon is always going to show this, and a full moon show this on the ascendant and descendant line, that's the part of fortune, is in Fatima, Portugal, where the apparition was known, where the little girls got an apparition from Virgin Mary. So it's a beautiful sign. So doesn't Terry send to me today, Claudio, these orbs showed up on my wall. So I went and looked at her chart, and it's there. Destiny's Gate was absolutely there. So here you have this alignment, these orbs that look like it's the shape of the Pleiades. Wayne Herschel thinks that that's the leg of the bull. It looks like it's the leg of the bull that they talk about, but I'm on the fence with that when studying the Egyptian walls. So that's what we're doing as far as studying it. So on February the 1st, this alignment happens. The moon's involved, Neptune, which is energy, pure energy. We showed that when people have high energy with the moon related to it, there's lightning strikes, they get struck by lightning, it's pain, it's all sorts of things. I'm going to digress for 1 second. So how do I know this? So the other night, I get this stabbing pain in my head over and over, like it's very sharp. And I go look, my moon is on the Neptune. It's lined up there. It's going to last 4 to 6 hours till 3:30 in the morning. That sharp pain was stabbing me. I could barely sleep. And then right at 3:30 in the morning, it stopped. So people would have run to the hospital with that. When you don't know what's happening with you, that's an old karmic injury, whatever. I give it gratitude, I give it love. It's in my chart, it's energy, it wants to leave my body. It's a process of healing. So on this February 1st, this Alcyone is rising for Mount St. Helens. So is that going to cause a problem? I don't know, but I'm venturing to look for what the potentials are. Because everybody thinks man is creating Mother Nature. No, Mother Nature always heals itself because it's a body. And what we do with Mother Nature in non-good ways, it's going to cleanse. It's going to act like it has a virus. It's a process. So we got to understand that process. So all these beautiful alignments we talked about last week are all there. I mean, look at the part of fortune is on Sirius. The part of fortune is calculation between sun, moon, and the ascendant. So all these alignments are there. Does that mean that Mount St. Helens is going to go? No, but Mount St. Helens within your body can go. And it depends on your natal chart. So you don't have to run to go find an astrologer. Just know when you feel something, it's a cleansing wave and it goes away. I've done so many people's charts. Hey, I know it's just a cleanse, but can you let me know when it's going to go away? Yeah, here you go. And then it goes away. So it's beautiful. It's not an art. It's a beautiful metaphysical way of looking at things. I showed this last week because also on February the 1st, Andromeda, Hygeia, which is that cleansing goddess, which is that medical caduceus in the pharmaceutical industry, is going to be aligned for the 3rd time on Andromeda Galaxy. Okay, so we're not going to go into this in detail. I'm just showing you really quickly. This is a calendar which points to the February 1st alignment. This has come to me like crazy from all sorts of different people and synchronicities. So this is from the temple. Sorry about that. From the tomb of Senemat. And this actually aligns with the Phoenix rising and the change of the meridian. And everything that's in here aligns with the February 1st date. So much as I know that the Freemasons have been taken over by materialists, but they probably don't understand what this is. And I'm going to show that in the video. This is all the different changes of the meridian lines. And I'll show you how they line up with the one that we've done that we've showed in the Holy Grail video. So this just came to me. It's beautiful. This is all about you harvesting yourself as a beautiful human being who is spirit. You're infinite. You are in charge of your own destiny. Everything you feel is because of you. Stop playing victim. Do the 5-step forgiveness process. Understand who you are and know that you are cleansing and Mother Nature is cleansing you as a unity. We're all getting cleansed because it's that time. It's that time of the season, the season. So people ask me, okay, well, what happened on your April 15th, 2023? Well, if you all remember, Florida had a flash flood. April 15th, 2023 was our getting into Age of Aquarius. And if you go on the Dendra Zodiac, here's John the Baptist pouring the water on, there's the fish, right, from Pisces. We're moving from Pisces to Aquarius on the people who are in karmic bondage. The forgiveness of sins. So that February 1st is the Jubilee date. We're in Jubilee. The Vatican has announced for 2025, we're in Jubilee, right? Millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. And the Vatican, as you know, has got plenty of astrological significance that we've left there but got taken over by materialists. So yes, in 2023, April 12th, 3 days before the Phoenix Rising, 25.6 inches of rain fell in 12 hours. Unprecedented. When they design systems, they design it for 1 in 100 years. Well, this is what was a 1 in 1,000 year rain. It's special. So yes, Mother Nature is telling us, it's giving us the tsunami. It's telling us when to run. But you don't run. You go with the truth. That's where you get your enlightenment from, when you understand who you really are, that you are an infinite being. When we reincarnate, we retain our wisdom. So all this wisdom that we're all gathering together as this group and we share with each other, that wisdom stays with you. When you reincarnate, your chart will carry that wisdom. So I always do charts of people who are very enlightened. For example, Edgar Cayce. Well, look at Edgar Cayce. The North Node, Mercury. So the North Node is the magician. It's the head. It's the consciousness. Mercury is the Akashic record. He was able to really see into the Akashic record, wasn't he? Saturn, Father Time. Virgin Mary, there's Eris. This is the one that brings the Phoenix Rising, right? And she's on the cusp right now, the California coastline, and Venus. So I don't get into too much detail because there's so much more I could talk about his chart. He was connected in the previous life, which gives him the opportunity to have it this life. When people say, I selected my life, yes, you do. Every now moment you select your next incarnation, it stays with you. So now it's paramount that we understand this revelation of who we really are and start flapping our wings with love. It's absolutely a beautiful process. A couple last things and then we're done. Thanks Light-Music, where he said, the Lord's Prayer, say it slowly. It comes from the Latin word pater noster. Pattern of stars is the etymology that comes from. So father comes from the word aether. Aether is the fifth element. Star, Greek is aster. Aster, there's a stir. There's beauty in all the Latin words. Everything stems from the stars. We're from the stars. We're light beings. We have to understand that cycle and that nature. So when we cleanse, it's in our chart. Everything we feel is in our chart, bar none. Bar none. I've done 3 people that supposedly passed from not taking the COVID shot, and I've done 3 people who passed because they took the COVID shot, and both had these similar alignments. So we got to stop this separation of just respect everybody for their own decision, whether they're in fear or not. It's okay, because we have to respect our brothers and sisters. If they don't know the truth, we have to comfort them. If they don't want to be around me because I might be sniffling or something, I respect that. But I go and hug every person that says they have COVID. And I don't get it because it's not in my chart to get it. So that's where the strength comes in. I tell them I'm immune to all viruses because a virus is not a thing. It really isn't, folks. It's a process. Because we just showed you a chart, and I can show you so many more that when you get that cleanse, it's in your chart. It's muddy waters, the immortal muddy waters that wants to leave us, not come back. And Terry shared this beautiful short. Know that you don't really need any machine to cleanse you. If it makes you feel good, go do it. It's okay to do it. But you don't need it because you are the ultimate cleansing machine. You are. Love does it, and the forgiveness process does it. What we've attained in this body as far as muddy waters is because of us. And then everybody around us shows us what's muddy in us. It's a reflection of us. Look what Spirit is doing this to our body right now as we speak. Through the stars. It's a feel good, right? But when you know that Mother Nature is doing this to us through the lights in the sky, if you ever zoom in on Sirius or any of the stars, watch the cymatic that's being shed from inside out of you to cleanse you. And that's all we have for today.
That's almost the same as what sound does on a plate with sugar or sand. Same vibration, same patterns.